4th TIE fighter to arrive here this week. You have such a tremendous interest in the First Order. Now that they are increasing their security presence on the Colossus, you must be thrilled.
These guys aren't security.
Star Wars Resistance is an animated series set within the Star Wars canon that expands the sequel-era timeline by focusing on the rise of the First Order and the early days of the Resistance. The series presents the galaxy from a ground-level perspective, shifting attention away from legendary Jedi and Sith to ordinary pilots, mechanics, families, and citizens caught between growing tyranny and quiet rebellion. Its tone balances youthful energy with increasingly serious themes, allowing the story to mature alongside its characters as the conflict escalates. Rather than centering on galactic destiny, the narrative emphasizes loyalty, choice, and survival in a time when war is approaching faster than most people realize. The story primarily follows Kazuda Xiono, a young New Republic pilot who is secretly recruited by the Resistance. Though enthusiastic and talented in the cockpit, Kaz is inexperienced in espionage and undercover work, which becomes a defining element of the series' early episodes. He is sent to the Colossus, a massive refueling platform located in a remote ocean world, to gather intelligence on First Order activity. This setting becomes the heart of the show, serving as a self-contained community filled with racers, engineers, shop owners, families, and security forces, all trying to live normal lives while unaware that they are slowly being pulled into a galactic struggle. Kaz's mission is supervised by Poe Dameron, who acts as his resistance handler and initial connection to the larger conflict. Poe's appearances help anchor the series firmly within the sequel trilogy timeline, but he remains a supporting presence rather than the focus. Kaz must earn the trust of Captain Doza, the gruff but principled leader of the Colossus, while also navigating friendships and rivalries with other pilots. His cover identity as a mechanic and racer leads to frequent mishaps, highlighting his clumsiness outside of flying and reinforcing the show's lighter tone during its early phase. A major part of life on the Colossus revolves around high-speed racing, which functions both as entertainment and as a vital means of earning income and prestige. These races introduce a variety of pilots, each with distinct personalities and motivations. Tam Ryvora, one of Kaz's closest friends, is a gifted engineer with a strong sense of loyalty and a deep attachment to the Colossus as her home. Her relationship with Kaz and other characters becomes emotionally significant as the series progresses, especially when ideological divisions begin to form. Yeager, Kaz's reluctant mentor, is a former rebel pilot who now runs a repair shop and serves as a father figure, offering experience, restraint, and quiet wisdom shaped by past wars. As the First Order's presence in the galaxy grows, the series gradually shifts from episodic adventures to a more serialized narrative. Subtle hints of surveillance, military buildup, and political pressure begin to surface around the Colossus. First Order officers arrive under the pretense of protection, exploiting fear and uncertainty to justify their control. This slow escalation mirrors how authoritarian power often spreads, not through immediate conquest, but through promises of safety and order. The residents of the platform are forced to confront uncomfortable choices, weighing survival against resistance. The plot gains significant momentum as the First Order tightens its grip, revealing that neutrality is no longer an option. Captain Doza's past connections and personal conflicts add layers of complexity to his leadership decisions, while Kaz's role as a spy becomes increasingly dangerous. Trust becomes a central theme, as secrets strain friendships and misinformation creates division. Characters who once seemed firmly aligned begin to question their beliefs, showing how propaganda and personal trauma can influence allegiance. One of the most impactful storylines involves Tam's gradual disillusionment. Feeling overlooked and frustrated, she becomes vulnerable to First Order manipulation, which presents itself as offering structure, respect, and technological advancement. Her arc explores how good intentions and emotional wounds can lead individuals down destructive paths. Rather than portraying this shift as simple betrayal, the series treats it as a tragic consequence of fear, anger, and unmet needs, adding emotional weight to the conflict. The series directly intersects with major events from the sequel films, particularly the destruction of the Hosnian system. This moment marks a dramatic turning point, transforming distant political tension into undeniable reality. News of the catastrophe ripples through the Colossus, forcing characters to confront the scale of the war. The tone of the series becomes noticeably darker, reflecting loss, shock, and the realization that the First Order is willing to annihilate entire systems to assert dominance. In its later episodes, the narrative focuses heavily on survival, escape, and resistance. The Colossus itself becomes a target, and its inhabitants are forced into motion, abandoning any illusion of stability. The platform transforms from a stationary hub into a mobile refuge, symbolizing the shift from passive existence to active defiance. Kaz matures significantly during this period, evolving from an awkward recruit into a capable leader who understands the cost of his choices. The animation style of Star Wars Resistance is distinctive, drawing inspiration from anime influences while maintaining the visual identity of Star Wars. The designs emphasize speed and motion, particularly during aerial races and space combat. This stylistic choice sets the series apart from other animated entries in the franchise, reinforcing its focus on pilots and flight. While initially divisive among audiences, the visual approach complements the show's themes of agility, youth, and momentum. The cast of characters is intentionally diverse, representing different species, backgrounds, and perspectives within the galaxy. This diversity enhances the sense of the Colossus as a living community rather than a simple backdrop. Supporting characters, including shopkeepers, security officers, and fellow racers, are given moments to shine, reinforcing the idea that the galactic conflict affects everyone, not just heroes with famous names. Across its two-season run, the series maintains a balance between accessibility for younger viewers and meaningful storytelling for longtime fans. Humor and lighthearted situations coexist with moments of genuine tension and emotional loss. This tonal balance allows the show to introduce complex ideas such as political manipulation, moral compromise, and the consequences of war without becoming overwhelming. Star Wars Resistance concludes by reinforcing the importance of choice and courage in the face of oppression. Rather than focusing on grand destiny, it emphasizes that resistance is built from ordinary people deciding to act, even when the odds are against them. The ending underscores that victory is not always immediate or complete, but survival, unity, and hope remain powerful forms of defiance. Within the larger Star Wars canon, the series serves as a bridge that deepens understanding of the sequel era. It provides context to the rise of the First Order and illustrates how quickly freedom can erode when fear is exploited. By telling its story through the eyes of new characters, it expands the universe without relying solely on established legends, offering a fresh yet connected perspective. Star Wars Resistance ultimately stands as a character-driven story about growth, loyalty, and the cost of inaction. Its journey from light adventure to serious conflict mirrors the experiences of its protagonists and the galaxy they inhabit. Through personal struggles, shifting allegiances, and hard-earned maturity, the series delivers a focused and intimate look at a critical moment in Star Wars history, reminding viewers that even in the shadow of overwhelming power, ordinary individuals can still make a difference.